Welcome to First Impressions, where we give you our initial thoughts on video games, comics, TV shows, movies, and I don't know, what else do we do?
All kinds of things.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So, my name is K.C'arl Lee.
And I'm Jason Headley.
And Jason's going to tell you about what we're doing this week.
Alright guys, so DC All Access is giving everyone a chance to audition for their show, and since, as you guys know, we're big DC fans, this week's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to do a rating system, we're going to do a little bit more interview informal style. So just keep that in mind, and we're only going to be doing 10 books like last time. Next week we'll be back to our normal review system. This week we're just going to have a little fun, talk about some new DC books.
Yeah! DC All Access. So I'm here with Jason Headley, and he's read some comics, I've read some comics. We're gonna ask each other about them. So Jason, tell me about Catwoman number 35.
Well, Catwoman 35 starts a new storyline that we kind of started to see in Batman Eternal, where now Selina Kyle has sort of taken on the reins. She's kind of running the mob and the gangs in Gotham. We get to see this sort of different side. Like, she doesn't really even put on the costume throughout the issue. She's just sort of kind of dealing with the political landscape of, you know, Gotham and the gangs and the different crime families and things like that. So it's a really different take on her.
And it's got Genevieve Valentine who's writing it, and Gary Brown. How do you like the artwork and the writing in it so far?
I mean, the writing definitely has a very different sound to it, and the artwork has this really crime noir look to it that really fits the story well.
Yeah, I think the art looks great.
Yeah, it's also got some great colors that are really showcasing the darker side of Gotham.
Oh my god. And I love this cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover. It really
is. Jay Lee cover, right?
Yes, it is. I love the decrepit cat on the cover.
Yeah. I don't know, it's great. I'm really looking forward to this new run.
I like how Catwoman found the ugliest cat she could find to have as her sidekick.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I like that she's not really in her costume either. She's in like a suit.
Yeah.
She looks really
Well, she doesn't really put on the
badass
costume in the book, so that's really interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we don't see her as Catwoman, just as Selina Kyle. So the first book you read is actually one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah?
You read Grayson number 4 by Tim Seeley. Tell me, I mean, is the hype still moving? Is this book still great?
Oh my god, yes. The book is amazing. It's so many different genres in one. I mean, you got something that kind of reminds me of Gotham Academy in it, and then there's got that spy stuff, and it's, you know, in the Batman world, but it's really expansive.
Do you feel like this issue we're starting to, because there is, I mean, every issue has like a singular story, but then we also have this overarching thing, or do you feel like this is expanding on the bigger picture story, or is it more of like a done-in-one sort of issue?
Well, it really is, because, you know, Batman's brought into this, and the relationships are explored a lot more, and they bring in these other characters that are new. I don't want to give away that are really kind of exciting, that the younger characters.
Right. Do you feel like this is a series that it can keep going, or do you think this is leading up to something bigger in the Bat universe?
Oh, I am so excited about the series because it has so much potential, and it also has some of my favorite characters in it, including Midnighter.
Yeah. Drifter's not in this book, sadly.
Yeah, Midnighter's in it, and I love Midnighter.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I can't wait to read it.
Let's talk about Gotham Academy. This is the second issue,
Yeah,
right?
it's the second issue, and for those of you who watch our show, I loved the first issue.
Yeah,
so,
you did love it. I didn't get to read it yet, so what's going on in the second issue?
I mean, the second issue, we really talk a little bit more about like the ghost story side of things, and we start to get more of this creepy vibe. We're really getting into the characters. Olive is such a cool main character.
So what's happening on this cover? What is this bad thing?
Well, we're starting to uncover that there might be sort of like a cult sort of idea going on at the Academy that some of the students are involved in, so that's pretty neat. But also it's intertwined between Olive's dating life, so it's got a little bit of everything.
I love the art in this
The art
book.
is awesome.
Isn't it amazing?
It is awesome.
So where do you think this storyline is going? It seems pretty different from most of Batman books and kind of dark.
It's got a little bit of, I'm not gonna lie, it's got kind of a Harry Potter style to it. It's sort of like uncovering not only the mysteries of the characters, but also the mysteries of the school within Gotham, which is really great. And just the characters. We want to know more about these characters because they're really fun to read about.
Awesome.
Yeah. So next up, you read Earth 2. Now you're a big Earth 2 fan.
Yeah.
Tell me, are the stakes raising now that we're getting into the world's end of the Earth 2 stuff?
Well, I gotta say, this is Earth 2 number 28, and it's actually deviating from the regular storyline and doing origin stories. So you have the four origin stories of the Furies of Apocalypse.
Oh, very cool.
And you know what? I was really surprised by them. They're really, really kind of original and fun.
Oh, that's great. Are you finding those origin stories are answering a lot of questions for you about these characters? Because you've read this for a while now.
Sure. Well, I mean, some of these Furies have just been introduced, so I didn't know what they were, and I thought, who's that? That looks like a, I don't know, Starfire. And now we find out it's a Cambrian. Oh my goodness, I don't know how it's pronounced. But you know, we find out who she is, and we find out who all of them are, and they're actually all really, really good stories.
Right, because now that you remind me, they were introduced in World's End, right, when that started. They kind of came to the world. Cool. Do you feel like they pose a pretty decent threat for our World's End storyline?
Yeah. At first, you really don't know what they're about, but in this book, you can see why they're someone to contend with, why they're really, really kind of messed up.
Awesome. Well, sounds like a pretty cool new villain for the Earth 2 team.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool.
We are such fans of the game
Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis. Fight for the multiverse.
And if you guys want to give us some more free characters, that's fine too.
Yeah, please. And so, Infinite Crisis number 4. You've been reading this from all along, and you like it as much as the game, or what?
Well, I mean, I love that it ties in so well with the game. Like, this week we got to know the, like, Mecha Superman a little bit more, which I thought was really cool. And it really brings characters that you're having a lot of fun playing with to life in this story. And this is a new arc, too, so we got to see a lot more characters than we've seen before. Great.
So, why should people be reading this comic that's based on this game?
I mean, I love that it has a lot of the characters and really builds on the world in the game, but I also love that every month they give you a free character. How cool is that?
That is really cool.
Yeah, this week,
love it.
I don't know if we're supposed to say this, but this month they gave out Nightmare Batman, which is awesome to play as, so nothing else, yeah.
So, this is issue 4. What's this issue about?
So this issue breaks away from the first 3 that we were dealing with, a bunch of, you know, like Gaslight, Green Lantern. Now we're dealing with a more like Mecha Superman and his connection to this, and we're starting to see other worlds get pulled into the crisis, which is really cool. So
what other worlds are they kind of hinting at that we're excited about?
I mean, we got to see like the Mecha Superman world this week, so that was really cool because we get to see sort of how this Superman has treated his world, how he deals with you know, Clark Kent as an alter ego. In this world, Clark Kent has actually died, so it's just the mech that's left.
I see. That sounds exciting. It
is, yeah, and you get a free character every time. So you get a good book and a free character. It's a win-win for everybody.
We love it.
All right, so now you have really, really gotten into the Flash comic book even before the show started.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, are we into a new storyline now, or are we in the midst of...
We're actually coming to the end of the storyline.
Right.
There's a future Flash who's coming back to the present to fix these problems because there's something wrong with the Speed Force. And it ties in...
Surprise, surprise,
It ties in with World's End and Future's End.
Oh, very cool. So Flash is kind of the thing that's sort of combining all of these.
It's like a natural fit into Future's End.
Yeah.
Because he's from the future, you know?
That's awesome. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more with Arrow, but have you seen anything that is, like, similar between the show and the book yet?
Well, other than the fact that Wally West is black in the New 52, and Iris West is black in the show.
So that's it so far?
So far, yeah.
Is there anything from the show that you would love to see get put into the book?
Wow. Well, you know, the element of fun and jovialness that Grant Gustin brings to the character isn't seen in this title as much because he seems a little bit older in this title.
Right.
He's been the Flash for a little bit longer in this title.
Yeah. So you'd like to see a little bit more of that fun, kind of tongue-in-cheek humor.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
So, Superman 35. This has been a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, Jay Romita is in DC now. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge win for DC. And the artwork in this book continues to be freaking awesome.
Really? So, does somebody get introduced in this issue? Or is that not true?
Well, we get to see the villain that they've kind of been going up against now for a while. We get to see him for the first time. But it's not so much about his introduction, the issue isn't.
Oh. So, what is this cover about? Why is Superman's head being squashed?
I think the big thing in this issue is that we're really getting to see sort of the similarities between Superman and this kind of alternate version of him, but we're also starting to see the differences. We're starting to see where they divide a little bit, and we get a great fight scene between the two of them and this villain they've been chasing after for a while.
So I hear there's a pretty big twist at the end of Superman 35.
Yeah, they definitely set up something for the next issue, and they really have it. This issue's really interesting because you kind of think it's going one way where they're fighting this villain, and then in the twist in the end, you realize that the villain they were fighting is not the threat that Superman has to worry about. It's something completely different. So readers are going to be really excited about this issue.
Can't wait to read it.
No.
Awesome.
All right, so this book has been getting more and more similar to the TV show, which we love. Tell me, is Green Arrow, the book, as good as Arrow, the TV show for you?
Well, it's a departure from what Lemire did, but it is bringing it closer to the show. They're slowly introducing elements from the show, but they're also introducing elements that are not in the show. Right. And so there's something new there, even though there's something familiar, and so it makes it very intriguing to read.
But we got Felicity now.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about Felicity. Are fans of hers going to be happy with how she is in the book? Is she different in any way?
Yeah, I think fans of Felicity will love Felicity in the book because she's pretty much exactly how
it's the
she
same
is
writers,
in the show. Yeah, so she's funny and she brings a different side to the book, which she brought also to the show.
That's great. Are there any elements from the show that you would love to see them put in the book? Or do you feel like there's any element from the show that you already think they're hinting at putting in the book?
Wow. That's interesting. I don't know. They already brought Komodo over to the show.
Yeah.
And in here, they introduced Mia, which is kind of like Thea. Well, Thea was based on Mia, and now Thea's changed her name to Mia in the show, so I'm wondering if they're trying to close the gap.
Maybe the characters will just cross over. Like, Thea will leave the TV show and come to the book, and then Mia can leave the book and go to the TV show. That's too complicated?
Maybe. I don't know. They'll probably have to do a crossover with Flash and go back in time and change multiverses or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see what happens next either way.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So, we got Wonder Woman 35. It's the last issue, right?
It is the last issue of this run, which has been freaking awesome.
Cliff Chang, yes. Yeah. Awesome. So, wow, I don't want you to give away what happens at the end, but...
I won't.
Does it kind of end on a good note?
It really closes out the storyline nicely, but what I love about it is that it doesn't close off the entire story. Like, there's definitely a lot of places that it could go still.
Oh, good.
And that's exciting because we have an exciting new team coming on, so we want them to have places to go.
Can you give us a clue of what happens in this episode?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to see, when you read this, you're definitely going to see kind of the ultimate climax about, you know, we have Zoe, we have her baby, we get to kind of see how that all comes together and what's been going on that whole time. But I think the great thing about Wonder Woman is it's all about family, and this issue really nails that home.
So, how much do you love this issue?
I love this issue. I thought it was fantastic. It's everything I wanted from the last issue of this run.
I can't wait to get it collected. Are you going to get the new issues of the new creative team?
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited because, I mean, this run has been great, but who knows what kind of cool stuff they can bring to it. So, it's going to be awesome.
Bring it on.
Yeah, we're ready. All right, so this was really, we went to New York Comic Con, and this book everybody was super pumped for. So tell me a little bit, is Deathstroke 1 as bloody and gory as we wanted Deathstroke to be?
It is pretty bloody and gory. Like, if it were a movie, it would definitely be rated R.
That's good.
Tony Daniel is doing such an excellent job with the art and the writing. He's did that on Batman, and so we know he can produce these type of books, and it looks amazing. And there's twists in it that are, you know, really interesting to know. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
Awesome. Do you see Deathstroke in this book? Do you see us learning new things about him? Do you think we're going to see him differently than we've seen him before?
I think this is going to redefine Deathstroke.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, we already know who we think he is, but it's going to redefine him for the new 52, I believe.
Why do you think Deathstroke is a character that people get so excited? I mean, when we went to the Infinite Crisis panel, everybody wants to play as Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Why is Deathstroke such that character?
Because he is a bad ASS. Can I say that? He's a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He uses knives, guns. He'll kill you however
Fights with a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a healing factor. He's just the baddest ass mercenary out there that no one wants to mess with, and he can't lose. He can't. He's just really that badass.
Yeah. Well, Deathstroke #1 is getting a lot of hype from the comic book community, so make sure you grab your copy because it sounds like it's amazing. Alright guys, that's all the comics that we have for this week. Next week we'll be back to our normal review schedule. We want to apologize for being gone for so long, but we also want to say thank you to everyone who went and saw Revenge of the Green Dragons, everyone who came out to a book launch of A Love Story for Witches. You guys are so awesome. You make all of this fun stuff that we do for a living that much more fun and that much more worth it.
And you can still go watch the movie and go buy the book and get signed by this man.
Yes. So you should absolutely do that. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook because we now have a First Impressions page. And we will see you back next week for more comics. Oh, okay. Yeah. Woo! I'm just going to fake it.
DC All Access! All Access.
Like this.
Maybe not that.
Maybe not that much access.
Okay, so I have Jason Headley over here. Did I say her name?
Get it together.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Do you want to end that differently?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Tell it like that. Is that better?
You disaster. So.
Okay.
All right.
Are we rolling?
Yes, we're on.
Oh God.